Hello, welcome to Microsoft Community Insights podcast, where we share insights from the community experts to stay up to date in Microsoft. I am Nicholas, and I'll be your host today. In this podcast, we will dive into threat detection with Microsoft Sentinel. But before we get started, I want to remind you to follow us on social media so you never miss an episode, and it helps us reach more amazing people like yourself. Today, we have a special guest called Ruros Barbic. Can you please introduce yourself, please?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Nicholas, for this session for today. I am very happy to join for this session. And I am currently working as a security architect in Crayon company, but I am also Microsoft Security MVP in two categories. Microsoft Defender XDR in combination with the Sentinel and cloud security. And I'm also Microsoft certified trainer. And today we'll discuss about very, very important topics. What is Microsoft Sentinel Analytics and how we using Sentinel Analytics in day-to-day security operation, how we helps our clients by using Sentinel Analytic rule. And that is the idea because Microsoft Sentinel Analytic help us in order to detect, in order to investigate, in order to remediate many cybersecurity threats. And all security operations center team cybersecurity analyst or incident responder can use Microsoft Sentinel Analytics to set up analytic rule, for example, and work with the custom query language to detect incident, critical events, issue in your environment.
Okay, so what are some of the key features of Microsoft Sentinel that would make it effective for threat detection?
Yes, actually, you can analyze this many historical data collected from your workstation, for your servers, for your network device, firewalls, intrusion prevention, sensor. Microsoft Sentinel Analytics analyzes data from various sources because that is data sources connected via data connector with Sentinel in real time and in order to identify some correlation, anomalies. I can trigger alerts based of attack techniques are using some known malicious actor, and I can set up rules to help ensure my SOC team in alerts professional security incident. For example, I can identify compromised account. I can use behavior analytics to detect potentially suspicious pattern in my environment. I can use detection for insider threats. I can use investigation of incident in combination with unified security operation, Defender XDR, Sentinel, and Security Copilot. And very, very important, I can use detection of data exfiltration by attackers. That is very real threats in day-to-day operation. And what resources were compromised, what is potential data lost along with timeline of incident. And that is very important, and you will be able to detect threats using protection tool, such firewall, your anti-malware solution also, and analytic help my SOC team, for example, to improve efficiency of complex investigation in order to detect insider threats, to detect faster in very efficient way. Yes.
Can you use Microsoft Sentinel to integrate with other Microsoft security tools like product to detect threat?
Yes. I can use a lot of tool with the point of view integration, but I can explore in very easy way analytic rule for my security operation in order to detect this type of incident. I mentioned, and my idea today I'm, for example, a security engineer. I'm working, and I recently noticed a significant number of my virtual machine were deleted from my Azure subscription. And my idea is to analyze this, and I can to be alerted when similar activity occurs in the future. And my decision to decide to implement analytic rule to create incident when someone deletes, for example, existing virtual machine. And that is my idea, and I can share my screen now in order to show.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I put it up.
And what is my idea? I'm now in my Azure portal and select Microsoft Sentinel.
So can you zoom in a little bit, please?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you can see when I click in part of analytic, this part with active rule templates, and anomaly is open. And in my configuration, I can create schedule query rule, for example, with parameter rule name Azure virtual machine deletion. An explanation that is a simple detection to alert when someone delete virtual machine.
Okay, so you're setting up a schedule rule.
Yes, that is my idea, my schedule rule, and I can choose severity. That is severity, sorry, medium, and I can select, for example, impact for in the part of my attack. Status is enabled, and I can set now my rule logic. I can use some query, custom query language in that part to analyze this query. I can use other activity when operation name value is Microsoft Compute with my virtual machine is deleted, and where I have activity status value success. That is my idea, and I can go in entity mapping and define some new entity with my account and the name, for example, color. The second steps is I can add here IP. IP with the IP address field, and, for example, caller IP address. Okay. I can go now in part my alert. I can run every query, for example, in 5 minutes and look up data from the last 5 hours. I can start running automatically and generate then the 0 when number of query result 1. For example, a group of event in the single and I can configure how rule query result are grouped into alert, and suppression, for example, stop running query after alert is generated in 1 hour. That is part of how I set rule logic, and I can set with the current testing data. This chart actually show us a result of last 15 evaluation and defined analytic rule and everything now is in settings working properly. I can create this event from alert triggered by analytic rule that is enabled by time. I can use alert grouping and how alert are triggered by analytic rule and group incident. I can limit group for alert created by selected time frame, for example, 1 hour. I have free option for my group alert triggered by analytic rule into the single alert by grouping alert in the single incident if the all entity match. That is actually recommended. I can reopen close matching incident option. In automatic response, I have option to view all automatization rule that will be triggered by analytic rule. I can create for example, new automatic rule when incident is created, when incident is updated. When alert is created, I can define condition groups with the action, run playbook, change status, change severity, assign owner, add task, and etc. Now we can in very visible way, validation is passed. I can save my new scheduling rule. And after that, we have this rule in actually in active rule. And this is very important to use filter option. In filter option, I can see my status, for example, enable or disable my active rule. What is severity of my rule, informal, low, medium, or high? I can see rule type. I can see my scheduling rule, but also not real rule for fusion, for Microsoft security, for Microsoft learning behavior analytic, threat intelligence, and that is very important. Anomaly alert actually describe what is informal, how we identify anomalous behavior. In the fusion alert, I can detect suspicious activity for various stages, cyber chain, fusion correlates multi-security alert from various products and issues, machine learning to detect multi-stage attack. And that is a good example because when I filter here, I can click my fusion and I can see now advanced multi-stage attack rule. I can edit this rule because I previously created and I have explanation in description what is configured for fusion. I can include with status, with anomaly. I can include specific detection patterns for fusion detection. In automatic expose, I can view all automation rule and everything related to this type. And I can cut this rule, and after that, I have what is important because in first task I create rule for my Azure virtual machine when it's delayed, and when I try to go in my virtual machine now and I try to delete this virtual machine, I can go to alerts about this automatically triggered me and notification about the incident in 2 or 3 minutes duration, but it can be also earlier. That is the idea. On my virtual machine, I locate and select my virtual machine and delete task created incident, task created based of my analytic rule, what I created in first task, and incident creation take up about maybe in 5 minutes, but I can proceed with the rest of steps this when observe result.
So I've got a question. Sorry, can you use infrastructure as code with Microsoft Sentinel?
Yes.
Like Terraform?
Yes, yes, that is very, very good because I know, Nicholas, you're DevOps expert, better than me, with
No expert.
with a lot of experience. And yes, I use Azure automatization in multi-cloud operation, and that is a better way for this. I also use Azure resource template for this, but Terraform is very good for this type of when we're working with Microsoft Sentinel analytics and everything.
So, in your experience, what are the most popular threats that you've seen in Microsoft Sentinel?
Actually, we have a lot of tasks. This option, what I show now, is actually how I detect a compromise account with brute force attack, with a lot of skeleton attack, password attack on actually many situations with the point of view. For example, proxy shell vulnerability is also good example, because a lot of clients have problem in maybe before 2 years, and attacker actually with a lot of technique, social engineering, have one in the first stage have option to compromise user account, and after that you have option to persistence for example privilege account, and after that you can use some automatization script to compromise exchange infrastructure with some web shell, and the next stage actually is persistence on Azure Active Directory with combination with data exfiltration and ransomware activity, and that is very good to prevent these cybersecurity threats when resource compromise and user behavior analytic to detect potentially suspicious pattern, for example, for detection insider threats, locally in organization. Threat hunting also help us here in that way.
What are the most best practice that organization need to be aware of when you use Microsoft Sentinel to detect threat?
Actually, the first of all, the human is the weakest link in cybersecurity. We must constantly educate it in day-to-day operation, because we have a lot of zero-day attack on the critical infrastructure, and prevention is actually security awareness. We have a lot of working with the client with the point of view how to educate it in the different types of attack, and after that you have a different option. One of this option is actually to prevention is how we use Sentinel analytic from this option in order to detect potential threat and vulnerability in many of organization, because you can in very easily way create it analytic rule from analytic homepage, and you can access from analytic page from Microsoft Sentinel from this. And answer for your question is actually in prevention of incident with the tools, but in education of a lot of people in order to prevent this type of incident. And of course, identity protection is also very important in passwordless technique like biometric, everything in order to prevent this type of incident.
Yeah. So, from your experience of use of Microsoft Sentinel, what are some of the challenges you faced, and how you overcome them when detecting threat?
Yes, we have a lot of challenges, but I must mention, because now Microsoft have steps with the glimpse in the future, with the unified security operation. Unified security operation is something new because you can investigate all your incident, all your threat hunting, end-to-end detection and response with one dashboard. And with the point of work, stock analyst and incident responder, you have a better response of incident. You don't have a problem with switching a lot of tools, and definitely the best practice how we investigate incident. That is actually I am now continue with my incident in Defender XDR. Defender XDR, for example, I have some stage incidents.
Sorry,
And
for people that don't know what's Defender XDR, do you want to explain what it is,
of course,
please? Thanks.
Defender XDR is actually family of many Defender who is involved in security operation. Defender XDR is actually extended detection and response mechanism in order to prevent and detect malicious incident or critical events in your environment. And I can use also Defender for endpoints to detect incident on my workstation servers. I can use Defender for identity that is also inbuilt in Microsoft Defender XDR to detect, for example, incident in my domain controller or server infrastructure, and that is connecting in actually sensors. And I can use also use Microsoft Defender for Office 365. That is actually part how I protect my mail. I can use also Defender for Cloud Apps to protect my application. All of this family is now synonym for Defender XDR. Defender XDR is very powerful. Defender XDR, when we integrate it with the Microsoft Sentinel, I can click here in Sentinel settings, and you can see my Sentinel workspace is connected with my resource group location subscription. And after that, I can see Sentinel here in Defender XDR. And what I previously explained, I can see also in Defender XDR. It is not necessary to switch with other tool. But when I have incident, for example, in my Microsoft Sentinel, that is very interesting. I can click on some incident in the past. I have option for multi-stage incident. Okay, you can view full details here, but you can investigate this incident in Microsoft Defender XDR. That is very important, and I can use all analytics for that purpose. When I click incident page in Microsoft XDR, it is that I can see attack story of incident. I resolve automatically incident with automatic attack description, because with more artificial intelligence, with more behavior analytic, in containment phase of incident, I resolve this incident in real time. As a consequence, my account is isolated from, or my virtual machine isolated on the rest of network, or my account is locked. My account is disabled. That is the consequence. And after that, I can manage here. Incident. I can define severity. I can define the assign and status. Now I can see this incident is resolved. I can see my classification. I can use this manually. I know that is some security testing. I can save my
So I've got a question from someone that John, he said, for Atul, sorry I pronounce it wrong, what are the effective strategies to overcome challenges in threat detection?
Yes, effective strategy is actually when we is actually a zero trust approach. Zero trust approach with combination with defense of that of Microsoft security, and actually this trio, I like to say trio fantastico, Defender XDR in combination with the Microsoft Sentinel and Security Copilot. Security Copilot help us to better and faster investigate vulnerability, to create a better report, to connect with an indicator of compromise, to better analyze this incident and very fast in real time. And that is how we, in very efficient way, with the point of view strategy, detect, investigate incident in real time, and threat analytic actually help us in threat detection with actually Microsoft Unify security operation. And I think that is the best answer for this very great question.
Okay. How does, in regards to Microsoft Sentinel, how does it deal with privacy and security of data when you analyze it?
Yes, that is very important. All of data, for me, is most important thing to analyze is telemetry of data, but we have a lot of dark data. We have a lot of data with unmanaged device, and I can see here with the point of view and everything in my devices. I can use device inventory to onboarding my devices in Defender XDR to have better with the point of view. But I can use Microsoft Preview also in order to for data protection activity. I can create data loss prevention policy. I can use information protection with sensitive label, and in order to better classify your data. And for example, I have SAP of on-premise, and I can use software as a service in the cloud sub-success factor. The first idea how to encrypt sensitive data in the cloud. And I can use, for example, cloud apps with the cloud security broker solution to encrypt data before goes in the cloud, because you have a lot of hybrid variant on-premise solution in the cloud, and we must prepare for this part definitely with the point of view integration.
Okay. So speaking of like Microsoft Sentinel or threat detection, what are some of the latest tool in Microsoft Sentinel that people should be aware of for threat detection?
Yes, of course. Microsoft Sentinel is best practice how detect, how to collect logs in real time, how to analyze this. But Sentinel is not only for that purpose. Sentinel is built for the security and management cloud solution, also for the security orchestration and automatization response, and combination with that is actually win-win combination. But you can use different features like playbooks for the automatization, not only automatic rule. You can use workbooks for the better visualization of incident and activity. And actually, with investigation graph, I previously explain visualization in combination with XDR and actually Copilot. You have actually win-win combination how to better investigate and detect incident in real time.
Okay, so is there any future features in Microsoft Sentinel for threat detection that you're excited about that's coming soon?
Yes. With the point of view integration, you can you can use data connector for integration. I can use, for example, Windows security events Azure Monitor connector to connect with my Windows machine, and I can analyze this Windows event log for this security log for this machine and everything. Actually, Sentinel have a lot of feature in build, but when we build in Defender XDR, you have a complete protection of different cyber threats.
Yes, thanks. So, as this episode is coming to an end, what are some of the tips people should get to know in order to get started with threat detection Microsoft Sentinel?
Yes, threat detection with the Microsoft Sentinel. I can see now the very great comment from Atal in the chat. It's crucial for enhanced security across many organizations, and actually the best way to protect of incident.
Is there any best way to get started if someone wants to learn about it?
You have a lot of materials and best practice in that way, and also Microsoft Sentinel documentation is very good, but in combination with the Defender XDR documentation, everything you can see, and I can use actually attack simulation. I don't mention this before. Attack simulation is very powerful tool to test your protection of cyber threats, and I can use, for example, you can use very various number of attack simulation in, for example, Office 365, but fileless attack is very good example for that. And I can run the attack simulation in Defender XDR in order to detect, simulate attack, for example, with isolated domain controller and clean device, and I can use fileless PowerShell attack with the process injection, SMB reconnaissance, and during simulation, I can test actually how I in real situation protect from the cyber threats, and reconnaissance allows in many situations attacker to get information about recent user login activity, and once the attacker have information, you can move laterally in the network to get specified sensitive account, and I can actually use this tool in order to detect many different types of incident, and for better preparation, for my better preparation in the future.
Okay, thanks. Is there any like cybersecurity or backup Sentinel like communities for people to get involved with if they want to get to learn more about it?
Yes, of course. A lot of Microsoft Tech community. I'm involved in also in Microsoft private community, but in Microsoft Tech community you can also very good material, and Microsoft Tech community is a very good example to the best collaboration of many security engineer and better knowledge and share experience in the field of cybersecurity. But I can use many webinars and forums for that part, and that is how we share knowledge and experience about that.
Okay, thanks. Are you going to, before we wrap up this episode, are you going to any like security conference or event in the future?
Yes, of course. A lot of security conference, Microsoft Ignite is very, very soon, but my idea to be for my colleagues from MVP in March in the last year in the US. That is a very good example to synergy of Microsoft was professional. You have different conference
So
in
yeah.
field.
So are you going to Microsoft Ignite then? I take it.
I think yes, that is in Chicago very, very soon. Yes.
Yeah. I thought so. Okay. No worries. Thanks for joining this episode, Ruros. It's a pleasure to meet you. So and speak to you about your protection. So in few days, it's going to be on social media and audio on YouTube. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you very much, and
Bye.
see you in
See
the
you.